Well, Chief Justice Owiny Dolo declines to step down from Kyagulanyi's petition panel. And most of the people don't know the technicalities of this case. Well, we have the story in our bulletin today. Welcome to TV Africa News. Hope you had a beautiful day. This is Africa Today. My name is Nahabe Kujura. The headlines. Chief Justice Owiny Dolo declines to step down from Kyagulanyi's petition panel. Government clarifies on recently approved accreditation and conformity assessment bill. Italy's ambassador killed while looking for loot. And in sports today, the Hippos return to training ahead of Burkina Faso game. The news in detail. The National Unity Platform lawyer Anthony Wameli has described their move to withdraw the petition from the Court of Appeal as legal and tactical, but not out of fear as most of the people have been thinking. Well, we have the story.
Yesterday, the leader of the National Unity Platform, Robert Kyagulanyi, also known as Bobi Wine, instructed his lawyers to withdraw the presidential poll petition, which he filed in the Supreme Court, challenging President Museveni's victory in the January 14th general election. Kyagulanyi accused some judges of the court of being biased and having predetermined mind.
My name is Wameli Anthony. I am one of the lawyers for Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert in this petition and also lead the legal team in the National Unity Platform. We filed a petition challenging the election of President Museveni on 1st February 2021. But along the way, as the process unfolded, according to my client, he saw obvious bias, he saw obvious partiality, he saw obvious lack of independence in the judiciary or in the particular bench that he was appearing before. And he said, I would rather withdraw my case now than wait for my fate, which I am almost sure about. And I think the spark that ignited everything was when his obviously important evidence, critical evidence, was rejected while already at the court premises on the grounds that it was late by hours. So he felt he's not comfortable continuing in such a case, and hence the withdrawal. Now he communicated the withdrawal to the press, but legally speaking, we are preparing an application to formally withdraw, which has to be by leave of court. So we hope that when we have the application in, it will be served on the other parties. Then the court will hear our deliberations and make the final decision on the withdrawal and the consequences of withdrawal, which might include payment of costs.
The party lawyer Anthony Wameli has described their move to withdraw the petition from courts of law as tactical and legal in regards to the political situation in the country, saying that the people will decide on the matter genuinely than the courts of law. Counsel Wameli says the move was not out of fear, but it is part of the struggle strategy. On the move to People's Court, Wameli says it will work for them since the power is in their hands. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
The Chief Justice, Alphonse Owiny Dolo, has declined to step down from being part of the panel hearing of the 2021 election petition filed before the Supreme Court by the National Unity Platform leader, Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, against President Museveni's victory. Well, let's have the story.
In his filed application, the city lawyer Malema Birizi Chiwanuka asked the Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny Dolo to recuse himself from the election petition by Kyagulanyi since he was a lawyer representing President Museveni in a similar election petition by Dr. Kizza Besigye in 2006 challenging Museveni's victory, and that would present a conflict of interest. According to Mabirizi, Chief Justice Alphonse Owiny Dolo, who is leading the panel of 9 judges to hear Kyagulanyi's petition, has consistently met President Museveni, adding that the public has lost confidence in him deciding the petition impartially. When asked by the panel of judges to convince whether the Chief Justice visited President Museveni in a private visit or as a matter concerning the judiciary, Mabirizi noted that it didn't matter whether the visit was public or private.
As I've said, I'm not satisfied with that ruling. That ruling is illegal. You cannot tell people in any common sense that a former lawyer can come and be a judge of his former client. That cannot happen. His argument that 15 years, I told him, but look here, that was the last work you did as an advocate. Because from 2006, he became a judge in 2008. So from there he's a judge, and I was telling him it could be Museveni appointed to be a judge because of representing him.
The development comes barely a day after Robert Kyagulanyi announced withdrawing his 2021 election petition challenging President Museveni's victory after citing bias by the Supreme Court judges. Reporting for TV Africa News, Najuma Loima.
Now, the Minister of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Honorable Amelia Chambade, has addressed the press on the recently approved Accreditation and Conformity Assessment Bill. The minister's address was in Kampala at the Uganda Media Center. Let's have the story.
Honorable Amelia Chambade says the purpose of the bill is to establish the Ugandan National Accreditation System as a legal entity responsible for carrying out the accreditation in respect of the bill under the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. The minister said the accreditation will benefit government and the regulators, consumers and the environment and ensure facilitation of the global business trade. According to Minister Chambade, government began the process of developing a bill to address accreditation for conformity assessment matters in 2018, having identified gaps in the existing laws in the country.
That the Ugandan National Accreditation System as a legal entity is responsible for carrying out accreditation in respect of conformity assessment and calibration under Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. It provides for an internationally recognized national accreditation system as a crucial element of a well-functioning technical infrastructure that is aligned to international best practices.
Parliament passed the Accreditation for Conformity Assessment Bill 2018 on 10 February 2021. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
Well, let's go for a quick break. We shall come back with our news. Well, welcome back from the break. It is still TV Africa, the right to know. And in Europe, police in Barcelona is continuing to fire tear gas, rubber bullets and sound bombs at thousands of protesters in support of a jailed Catalan rapper who has descended into violence in Spain's main cities. Let's have the story.
Thousands of protesters took over Barcelona streets on Monday evening to demand the release of rapper Pablo Hasél, arrested by Spanish police after being given a jail sentence on charges of glorifying terrorism and insulting the monarchy in his songs. Last week, protest organizers used social media to call for further rallies across Spain, including in Madrid, to demand Hasel's release. There were some clashes between protesters and riot police, with video showing garbage bins on fire, looted shops, and objects thrown at officers trying to disperse the crowd. Hasel was convicted over relics and treats that included references to the Basque separatist parliamentary group ETA, compared Spanish judges to Nazis, and called former King Juan Carlos a mafia boss. Reporting for TV Africa News, Najuma Loima.
Well, away from that, millions of poor Americans endured another cold day without electricity or heat in the aftermath of deadly winter storms as utility crews raced to restore power before another blast, snow and ice in places least equipped to deal with it. Let's have the story.
Texas officials ordered 7 million people, a quarter of the population of the nation's second largest state, to boil tap water before drinking it, following days of record low temperatures that damaged infrastructure and froze pipes. Nearly 4.3 million customers around the United States were still without electricity, and some also lost water services. According to the Weather Service, the system was forecast to move into the northeast on Thursday, with more than 100 million people live in areas covered by some type of winter weather. This week's extreme weather has been blamed for death of more than 30 people, some of whom perished while struggling to keep warm inside their homes. Kachanchu Mtabazi, TV Africa News.
Well, thank you so much, our reporter Kachanchu. Now, coming to DRC, Italy's ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, his bodyguard, and the driver from the UN World Food Programme have been killed in the east of the country after their convoy was attacked. Let's have the story.
The Italy's ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Luca Attanasio, Italian military policeman Vittorio Lacovasi, and a Congolese driver died after a World Food Programme convoy came under gunfire near Goma while he was on a field trip to visit a school feeding program, according to a senior diplomatic source in Kinshasa. The Hutu rebels have denied the allegations made by President Felix Tshisekedi that they were behind the killing and instead accused the armies of the DRC and Rwanda. In a statement, the rebels claimed that the ambassador's convoy was attacked near the Rwandan border, not far from a position of the DR Congo Armed Forces and Rwandan soldiers. Attanasio had been Italy's chief spy in Kinshasa since 2017 and became ambassador in 2019. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
Well, let's go for a quick break. We shall come back with the business news. Welcome back from the break. You're still watching TV Africa, the right to know. Now talking business, in a discrimination move, businesses in the UK are said to be already drawing up contracts for employees after the vaccines minister said it was up to businesses to do what they want. Let's have the story.
Law firms have told journalists that businesses such as care home operators are already considering requiring their staff to have a COVID-19 vaccine once they have been made available to all adults in the UK. But concerns have been raised about whether such a requirement could lead to a discrimination against people who are unable to or choose not to receive a vaccine, like the people of color. The Prime Minister of UK, Boris Johnson, has for once thought as a human being when he suggested that he wants to focus on mass vaccination and rapid testing rather than making it a mandatory requirement for people to have a COVID-19 jab in order to access jobs and services.
We're not looking at the domestic use of vaccine passports. That's not in our planning. As I said, as the Prime Minister described, it'll be the national vaccination programme combined with rapid testing that I think is the way forward.
UK is also considering the promotion of racial divide discrimination through making the proof of vaccination a condition of entry for cinemas to open up. For TV Africa News, Nalgo Muyingo reporting.
Well, thank you so much, our reporter, Nalugo Muyingo, for that story. Well, coming to our health news today, Guinea has launched an Ebola vaccination drive after a flight delayed by a Saharan dust storm arrived carrying thousands of jobs as the West African country fights stamp out of a resurgence of the deadly virus. Let's have the story.
The Ebola outbreak that was declared last weekend is the first in the region since a 2013-2016 epidemic that left more than 11,300 people dead, mainly in Guinea, Liberia and Sierra Leone. The inoculation campaign had to be delayed by 1 day after a plane carrying more than 11,000 vaccine doses was unable to land in Guinea's capital Conakry due to a dust storm. Health authorities said some of the Merck vaccine doses would head straight to Nzerekore, the capital of Guinea's southeast forest region, where 5 people have recently died of Ebola. A further 8,700 vaccine doses were said to arrive from the United States on Wednesday. Kachanchu Mtabazi, TV Africa News.
Well, in our sports news today, the Uganda Under-20 national team, the Hippos, have returned in the training stage Sheikh Bodia ahead of Burkina Faso game on Thursday, 25th. Let's have the story.
After a crucial win against Mauritania to qualify for quarterfinals, the Hippos have returned to training ahead of Burkina Faso game this week on Thursday, the 25th. The head coach, Modibo Kwaso, is confident over his squad, hoping to overplay Burkina Faso and qualify to the next round. This is Uganda's first time to participate in Africa Cup of Nations Under-20 tournament. Reporting for TV Africa News, Najuma Luima.
Now, before we end our bulletin, let's have a recap of our top stories. Chief Justice Owiny Dollo declines to step down from Kyagulanyi's petition panel. Government clarifies on recently approved accreditation and conformity assessment bill. Italy's ambassador killed while looking for loot. And in sports today, the Hippos return to training ahead of Burkina Faso game. That was the news on TV Africa. Thank you so much for watching. We shall keep updating you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is TV Africa, the right to know.
This is Africa, and that was the news.